All right, folks. So here my darling wife went out and found us this nice prime rib oven roast, AAA. So in Canada, this would be, or Canada AAA would be equivalent to prime down in the States. And of course, this dollar amount is in Canadian dollars. But my wife got a special sale, so we actually paid only about 45 bucks for this. And I'm going to cut this into actual ribeye steaks. And you'll notice there's 3 nice, about 1.25 inch thick steaks in here to cut out. And then once we get those cut out, then I'm going to be doing a dry brine. So we've got our Himalayan pink salt here, and this has got no iodine or anything in it. It's just pure coarse Himalayan salt. And when you're doing this type of a dry brine, it's much better to use a coarse salt like this than a fine salt. And we've got, now it says garlic powder on here, but we just refill the container. This is actually granulated garlic, and it's just pure granulated garlic. I'm going to make sure you check your ingredients. You don't want any additives or anything. And then of course we've got our pepper grinder. I always like to use fresh ground pepper. There's just nothing quite like it for taste and aroma. Once you've ground the pepper and it sits in a container for a while, it loses a lot of its strength and flavor characteristics. So we're going to cut this up, dry brine it, and then it's going to dry brine in the fridge. I'm going to be eating one of these today, so right now it is just before 7 in the morning, so this is going to dry brine until about 4 p.m. But the other one, I'm going to be getting 3 out of this. I'm going to save one for my wife. She's going out of town for a little bit. So I'll put one away, and then the other 2 I'll dry brine. So the first one will dry brine for a few hours, and then the next one will be dry brine for about 30 some odd hours. And I'm going to be doing these up in the air fryer. Okay, I got them cut up. It turns out I was misreading it. I thought I was seeing 3 bones, but there was actually only 2 bones in there. So we got 2 big steaks. This first one is about 2.25 inches. This one's about 2 inches. And I just wanted to show you how much salt we're actually putting on these. We're going to be adding the other spices in a minute, but with such a thick piece of meat, and this particular larger one is going to be the one that's dry brined over 24 hours, so you want to put lots in there. It can definitely tolerate it. And then we're going to be adding garlic. Now I've already done the other sides. Now the nice thing about putting on these other spices with the salt is that as the salt draws out the moisture will combine with the spices, and then the salt, after it draws out moisture, causes that moisture and flavor to get driven right deep into the meat. So by adding these other spices, they get drawn right along with it. Okay, I'm going to finish spicing these up, and we'll see in a little bit. All right, that first big giant 2.25 inch thick ribeye is done in the air fryer. It's a lot longer than I thought, but now it's just got to rest for 10 or 15 minutes. So, and I will let you know how it turns out. See you in a bit. All right, so it's all done. When the air fryer finished, it was sitting at 130 degrees, but after a 15-minute rest and some carryover cooking, it's perfect 135 degree, medium rare. Although this piece I cut from the outside edge is a little more than medium rare, but it'll be perfectly done in the middle. So let's just see how this came out. Wow, nice and juicy, tender, just perfect. Just love how this came out. So, you should try this recipe for yourself. Now, the one thing you're going to want to do is have yourself a instant read thermometer like this one here, and make sure you cook it to the temperature that suits how you like it done. Perfect medium rare is 135 degrees. If you want it kind of just medium, then you're looking at 145 degrees and so on. You can look up those numbers on the internet. So my next recipe video is probably going to be, I'm going to show you how to make my fermented butter carnivore mayonnaise. And this time we're going to add a couple of things that are going to make it taste more like Miracle Whip for people that like that. So thanks for hanging out with us today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and that notification bell so you don't miss future recipes coming out. Thanks for hanging out with us today. See you in the next video. Bye for now.